Hello friends, this is tutorial number 33 in this C++ programming language tutorials. Okay, in this tutorial we will talk about arrays and when we're gonna use them. Okay, first thing, we worked with variables. It doesn't matter, it can be string, integer, double, float. But we usually use couple of them, 3, 4, maybe 5, but not too much. Imagine now that we need to work with 20 variables, 30, can be more. For a collection of this data to collect easier, we are using arrays. And now arrays, it can be array of string, integer, float, double, it doesn't matter. Now I will just show you one example of an array. It will be simple array. It will be a string. And it will be names. But now you will tell me, okay, but it is just exact as we write a string. Yes, it is, but we need to write it is array of 7 elements. Okay, and it will be equal, needs to have 7 elements. It means that we need to type 7 string inside, and in this case these are names. It will be a 7 names, and let's do it. Tracy. Okay, and we need to separate them with comma. We have John, Jim, we had Tracy, now it's Casey. Okay, Tom, Michael. Okay, how many names? 6. Okay, and we can write Brenda. Okay, we have 7 names in this array. And now it will be better to print them. Let's try to print. If we want to print, we will simply try with our standard printing command, names, and we will type end line, and we will see what we will get. We will get something that we don't understand. The point is, program doesn't know what to do, what we tell to the program. We have, okay, it is an array of 7 names, and we just print names. But what? This is 7 elements. What do you want me to do? We need to be more specific when we want to. It is not a simple string. We just type system out print line this variable. Okay, this is not a variable, this is an array of strings. We need to specify what we want to print. Okay, these are elements of array. This is array of 7 elements, and it means that all of these element of array has all number. Maybe you watched my previous courses about Turbo Pascal and Java. If you're coming from Pascal, you know that we used arrays there, and the numbers were from we defined from number 1, if this is array of 8 elements, from number 1 to number 8. In this case would be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in 7. It was easy. But if you come from Java, you will be a lot of easier, because this is completely the same. In the Java and C++ and any other language, you will find arrays start from 0. Okay, this is names, array of 7 elements, but first element is 0 element. of array is Tracy. It starts from 0. John is number 1, Jim is number 2, and goes until 6. It cannot have number 7. And if we want to print a name, one of these names, we need to specify which element of the array it is. Okay, if we type names of 0, let's build and run. Okay, here is Tracy. It's simple printing command, just print me 0 element of this array, and it is a Tracy. If we want to print first element, it will be John. Build and run. Okay, John. Here is the John. Here is John, our friend John. And of course we can just type, if we get number 5 will be Michael, and the last one will be number 6. It is Brenda. It is the last name in our array. But now you will tell, okay, but this is array of 7 elements and probably you want to print number 7. Okay, let's it is better. It will happen this error, but if we run now, it will crash probably. Okay, and okay, here you see this error. It is because this happens because we wanted to print element number 7, and this is array of 7 elements. Names of number 7 doesn't exist. If array has 7 elements, 6th element of array is the last one, and this is most important for now for you to learn. We cannot, if 10 elements, we don't have element 10, the element 9 will be the last. It is just because it starts from 0. Pretty much simple. And now you will ask me, but okay, what will I do? I want to print all of these names. Okay, I want a print array. I want all of these names. And you will ask me, okay, I can do that. I will see out names of 0, names of 1, names of 2, names of 3. Okay, it will work. But the only problem is now we are working with 7 elements. What we will gonna do when we have 30, 40 elements of array? It will be a disaster. Copy, paste, type. It will not serve us, and it will be very, very difficult to complete this task. But you all remember that we learned a loops, and now let's define a loop. Okay, we will have integer x. This is a for loop. We can define integer inside x equals to 0. And what we want to do now? We have array of 7 elements. It is pretty much simple. X needs to be lesser than 7. And we need to increment x. And we want to print names. But which element? And we will type x. And now I will explain you. Okay, inside this for loop we define our variable x, which is 0. Okay, and we have a condition. If x is lesser than 7, print us these names of x, which is currently 0, and it will print us a 0 element of this array, which is Tracy. Okay, and it will run again. But we have incrementation by 1. Now x will be 1. You already remember the loop, but just want to remind you. And if x is lesser than number 7, which is number 7 because our array has 7 elements. Print me these names of X, it is names of 1, and John will be printed. Okay, and it will, when it comes to number 6, it will print a Brenda because 6 is lesser than 7. But when it runs again, X will be equals to 7, 7 will not be lesser than 7, and loop will stop. And this is because of this. If starts from 1, we could type just okay, X less or equal to 7 and should be fine. But here starts with 0, and our X starting from 0 and needs to be lesser than 7. Okay, but it can be easier because if you have 10 elements, you will just put X need to be less than 10. Incrementation by 1, and you will have all your array printed. And now let me just try to print this. Okay, okay, names of X we forgot to print. C out, and okay, and we need end line, and let's print again. C out, names of X. Okay, we have a semicolon here. Okay, as you can see, we have our array printed easily. Tracy, John, Jim, Casey, Tom, Michael, and Brenda, and it works fine. Of course, we can define our variable integer, and it will be y equals to 0. But first, let me create couple of stars here. C out. Let's create couple of stars. End line. Okay, and what we want to do now, let's try to print it with while loop. Okay, we will have while, and we will have condition. While y is less than 7, which we have because we have a array of 7 elements. Let's just we will just write a command. Okay, we can write here. We will format code later. C out. Just C out names of y. We will use end line. But remember while loop, you can't forget to increment your variable. Okay, y plus plus. Okay, and it should be fine. Now just we need to run this to see if everything will be perfect. We forgot, no, here is not semicolon, we put a quote. Okay, you can see now. Okay, this is a for loop, and this below is while loop. This means that we can also print this array with while loop also, which is good. This is all of names of our array, but you need to be careful about condition in both of loops. You need start from 0 because your array starts from 0, and how many elements has array? 10. You need to write a condition X needs to be less than 10. This is one of advantages of array, but we always need to know in the array the most important thing. We need to know how much elements we will have in the array. Okay, but this can be more or less like disadvantage, but advantage is we know how elements has that array. If it's 100 elements, okay, 100 elements. If you want to print all of them, you need to write a condition. It needs to be lesser than 100. No matter if you work with for loop or you work with while loop. Okay, but this is important to remember for now. Of course, let me just quickly write another array. Of course, when we don't typing, but it will be a float. Okay, float numbers. Okay, and need to be, it will have just 4 elements, just to show you. Okay, and we will have 2.45. Also you need a comma, 3.45 comma 7.97 and 10.40. Okay, these all are, but we didn't separate. Okay, okay, here separated. Okay, separated, good. And now let's just but we will have numbers here, but also we need to change. We have a float array of numbers of 4 elements. It cannot be 7, need to be 4. And now we also need to print numbers. Okay, this is okay, and we will see what we will get. Okay, we will have printed array of names, okay, which is from the for loop, and we have our array of numbers, which is okay, as you can see, 2.45, 3.45. If we want, we can comment this, but let me indent this code a little. Plugins, okay, format the code. Okay, now should be better. Of course, if we want to print, let me just comment this, and let's start from here. If we want to print, okay, let's print cout numbers of 2. It will be third element of array. Okay, we don't need to use end line. It will be 7.97. Let's try to run it, and okay, 7.97. This is a third element of our array. Okay, this was the simple introduction about arrays. Of course, we will practice this in the next tutorials. It was just an introduction to what is array, to understand elements, that elements of array start from 0, not starting from 1, and how we can printing using loops. Okay, for this tutorial is enough. I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You have a link in the description, and I will see you in the next tutorial.